Chat, we need to talk about Maddie from Season 2 of Arcane. While doom scrolling TikTok, I noticed many people rejoicing over the death of Maddie, the joyful redhead officer that almost made Caitlyn eat the curb. While I too found enjoyment seeing a soulless redhead kick the bucket, I think we're being a little unfair to Maddie. Before any of you starts to yap about that one scene, I know, I was made aware of it, and there's a perfect explanation for that as well. So, why is there so much hate around Maddie? There could be a number of reasons for that. She's a redhead, she's a cop, she might be a Noxian spy, she's a homewrecker, she's a traitor, the list goes on. But I want to focus on the opinions of she's a spy and she's a homewrecker. Both valid reasons why to hate Maddie, but ultimately unfounded. Maddie is a Noxian spy. Where'd you get that idea? Just from the simple fact that she double-crossed Caitlyn at the very end and earlier in Act 2 was sleeping with Caitlyn? Beyond those 2 points, there's nothing to support that she's a spy. If anything, there's more to support her loyalty to Piltover and her friends than to Noxus. Well, until she ended up betraying them in the end. Sure, she seemed hyped to have Noxus on Piltover's side, but that, I think, is just her naive nature. She was banging her chest in support for Caitlyn, not thinking of the consequences of joining an alliance with Noxus might bring. On that note, Arcane showed that Ambessa, the general of the Noxian force in Piltover, was playing 4D chess, invoking a crime lord to attack just to rile up the people of Piltover, making them more likely to join her cause. So in that same vein, if Maddie was a spy from the get-go, then we would have seen a scene that shows that. Besides, if Maddie was really a spy, why would Ambessa warn Caitlyn not to have romantic interests with a co-worker?
I suppose I don't need to advise you on the hazards of professional entanglement.
That would undermine her plan. Even after Caitlyn betrayed Ambessa, Maddie was still by her side, consoling her that she has everything under control, not trying to convince Caitlyn to go back to Ambessa. So no, Maddie is not a Noxian spy. What about Maddie being a homewrecker, getting in between Kate and Vi? In the perspective in Maddie's eyes, there was little indication that they were a thing. Sure, Kate sung Vi's praises, which piqued the interest of Maddie, but beyond that, nothing that would indicate that Caitlyn was off limits. Another crucial thing to mention, Act 2, there seems to be a time jump between Act 1. With Vi out of the picture, Caitlyn decided to take Maddie as her new partner, which at that point, that's Caitlyn's fault for using Maddie as a rebound, which will bite Caitlyn in the ass later. So can we blame Maddie for being intertwined in this relationship bullshit? Nope. Alright, Maddie is not a spy, nor is she a slut. Does that mean we don't have a valid reason to hate her? We do. We sure do. She betrayed Caitlyn by handing her into Ambessa's hands, which put the whole city of Piltover into jeopardy. But why? Why would Maddie do such a horrendous thing with what we've seen previously in the show that would contradict her actions? Well, let's talk about her relationship with Caitlyn again. It's pretty much safe to say that Maddie got cucked by Vi. Cheated and supposedly dumped, one can only imagine what that could possibly do to a person. Apparently it made Maddie so mad that she threw everything on the line just to get back at Caitlyn. And you know she took it personally with this line.
I did appreciate your warmth.
Okay. So that scene where you can see a smile on Maddie's face as the gun fires and everything fades into a black and white-esque filter. Yeah. Even as she had a straight face as she's about to execute Caitlyn, deep down she was happy, fucking giddy, to put a bullet in her ex's head. The whole thing was for revenge, to get back at Maddie's lover. And you know what? I don't blame her. Can't say I'm mad at her either. Me personally, if I found out my partner was playing rock, paper, scissors, but without the rock and paper, with some gutter trash in a jail cell, Yeah, I'd be inclined to make that bitch eat shit. You think you can walk around with your coochie hanging out so anyone can pump a load in you? Well, how about you take this load in the back of your fucking skull, you stupid skank? I would rather see the city burn than to have that bitch win the day. Is it psychotic, deranged, overreactive? Sure, but I don't care. Fuck that hoe. Gonna have to side with Maddie on this one. Love is a dangerous game, folks. It's something that should not be trifled with. My sympathies are not with Caitlyn. She fucked around and she came very close to finding out. As for Maddie, well, while I can confidently say that her betrayal was fucked in terms of what was at stake, I can still understand why she wanted to do it. And I know for a fact that many of you would be tempted to do the same thing if put in the same situation. Maddie got fucked over, plain and simple. But I guess I'll be the only one to shed a tear for our poor girl in blue.
Se murió la vieja hija de puta. Terminó de una buena vez. Fuerte aplauso para Satanás que se la llevó. No está más.